Hello everybody, I'm going to give you a tutorial on my donkey face watercolor. And as you can see, I am trying to put down what I see with a pencil, a 2B pencil, and I am lightly putting down on the watercolor what I see in my reference photo. I'm kind of measuring out from the picture. I have a picture on my computer, and I'm measuring what I see on the computer and then taking it back over to the picture and kind of getting an idea. It helps me to get a better reference of each side being equal. So I put a line down the middle so I know where the middle is, and then I keep taking measurements from the picture I see and putting it down on the watercolor. I'm very lightly penciling in what I see, and if I get too dark, I go ahead and erase it, so when I do put the watercolor down, it's not evident that I have put the pencil mark down. Sometimes it'll show through, sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it makes it better to show through, so you'll get an idea when you're doing yours. My eyes are a little off, and I don't realize that until a little bit later, and you'll see me correcting that. I'm using a number 2B pencil, which is usually most pencils that you buy at the store. But if you have an art supply of pencils, then try to find the light pencil. Now I'm making marks for the ears, where I want the top of those ears to go. And I'm going back and forth with my measurements. As you can already see, it's showing up, looking like a donkey face. This watercolor turned out so cute, so funny. And if you want to fast forward from this little part to where I get into the watercoloring, you can go ahead and fast forward. Just making my marks, and then that way my ears are nice and tall like donkey ears. The watercolors that I use my favorite are the Winsor watercolor. They just seem to be more vibrant. And now I'm going in with the background. This is a little bit faster. I chose a nice sunset sort of background, and then I put the grass down and the horizon, adding some bushes, putting in my darker colors. And of course, with watercolors, it's all about layers. So you're going to start out with some layers, and then you can continue with more layers. I have not fixed those eyes yet, but you'll see when I have decided they're a little off. Putting in more layers. Making sure I define the little mouth area where the shadows are. Darkening in the nose nostrils. Putting in some deeper shadow colors on the nose bridge. And I believe I fixed you probably didn't see that part, but I fixed the eyes where they show up more evenly. Now I'm going in with some white This is the white that I use. It's Dr. Phil Martin's Bleed Proof White, and I use it as watercolor. I just add some little water to it, and that's what I use for the white over my watercolors to make the little hairs. This is the inside. As you can see, I've used it a lot. And you can use any of the white. So now I'm going in and putting those little strokes, and I can go back over this with other watercolor colors if I think it needs to be a little shade darker, lighter, or I can add it on my watercolor palette and add in some brown with the white. However I want to do it. It's just that watercolor white really doesn't show up like I want it to on my watercolors. There's some watercolor artists and teachers that teach you that you leave blank space for the white. And that's good if that's the way you want to do it, but as in all art, it's your style as an artist of how you want to do your art. So there's no right or wrong way. There's different techniques and different ways of teaching, but just know you don't have to feel bad about whatever you want to add in or subtract from your art is your art. And here I am just making a little sun in the background. I'm trying to make it a little bit wider. So now the sun is coming through and showing up a little bit better. Okay, from here on out, you can just see me finishing up with some highlights, and you'll be able to see the final finish. I did add some highlights to the eye. It turned out pretty cute. There's the highlight on the eye right there. Here's a Winsor Newton palette that I have with the different squares, and you just add the water to that. See my mixing palette back there. Or you can get the Winsor Newton or whatever brand. This is just what I prefer. In the tube. And then this is what that looks like when I add them. You can just add them in the different boxes that you want. And that's my white. Looks very messy, doesn't it? But that's the fun of art. So here is that brand.